Sustainability Advisory Committee meeting. Nico, do you just want to say the reason for the virtual?
Would you like me to read this on your behalf?
Yes, please.
Okay. On behalf of the chair of the Sustainability Committee, she finds that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Public notice of the meeting was posted on the town website and on the bulletin board of the town offices at 10 Front Street. As provided in that public notice, the public may access the meeting online and via phone. Please note that all votes taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call. We'll start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance, which the chair will do. When each member states their presence, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during this meeting and who that person is, which is required under the right to know law. Madam Chair, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Nico. I'm Chetna Palmer. I'm the chair for the Sustainability Advisory Committee, and I am alone in the room. Bev?
Beverly Tappan. I am at Rivers Woods and I am alone.
Dave?
Dave Sharples, town planner. I'm in the room alone.
Kristen?
Hi, Kristen Osterwood, and I am not alone. I will be children.
Jackie?
I'm Jackie Ojala, and I'm in the room alone.
And Chris?
Christopher Zigmont, and I am alone in the room.
Nico?
Nico Papakostandis. I'm the select board rep to the committee, and I'm alone in the room.
Okay, thank you very much. Kristen, can we put your little boy as part of the meeting? You can join the committee.
Sure. We'll add in parentheses, little Fitz Osterwood here.
Perfect. Okay. So we're going to call in the meeting to order, obviously, and just want to highlight the fact that we didn't meet in November, and it was my bag for not realizing that it clashed with the elections on November the 3rd, and I wasn't quick enough to rearrange the meeting for November. So apologize for that not going ahead in November. So we've got the minutes from our October meeting of the 6th, which were attached to the agenda, and want to see if there were any comments, changes to those minutes, and then move for approval if everything's okay. So. Any comments? Changes? Do I get a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve this.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And obviously the minutes are posted on the website, so people can access them. Any action items or anything to report back?
The only thing I wanted to touch on when I saw action items would just to take a look at. I know because of the missed meeting and the way the timing worked out, we weren't able to activate this as a committee, but I will say I was pleased to see the pumpkin recycling effort move forward and get pushed out through social media and show up quite a bit. I'm just curious if anybody has spoken to folks over at Laney and Lou to learn how successful it was or wasn't and what the response was.
Okay, so Jackie, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I've been talking with Janet, Laney, and Lou, and I had stopped by both of those weekends, and all 6 of their composting bins were full of pumpkins both times, so it was a really good turnout. And I was talking to Jen. She said next year they'd be happy to do like an event with us with hot chocolate and maybe live music if they should be open, and hopefully with COVID we'll be able to do an event.
That'd be great. I think if you look at this as somewhat of a prototype of, even on short notice with only, digital nudging, we actually had a pretty decent response. It just, to me, is a prototype of what we can do for other things, whether it's Christmas tree recycling or encouraging people to do other things for Christmas trees, or, you can go through the seasons and think about the things that we can, help activate the town to do, and working with, commercial partners downtown as well. I think there could be some opportunities there. So maybe the action item I'd suggest then would be, Madam Chair, if we wanted to either pull I guess I think of it as a calendar subcommittee to look at that, just kind of look forward down the calendar to see what other sort of seasonal opportunities there are to activate the town. Because what I like about that is it just gets in between people's ears as a positive thing to do, and they start looking around the house for other things to do. And so it's a really positive way to put sustainability out there in a positive way, in a thoughtful way. And if we can have that pop up, 4 or 5 or 6 times during the year on the calendar, that could be interesting. Yeah,
I just want to support what Jackie just said in terms of the composting. I think it was it was a success. Like I said, it was a short time window in getting the word out, and subsequently having heard from some residents locally saying that they were absolutely really glad that it happened, and that they did take their pumpkins there and they had somewhere to take them. So they were really, really pleased that they were able to use that. So I think, as you said, Chris, going forward, it'd be really good to have sort of marked events. On the back of that, I know last year for the Exeter Turkey Trot, we had working with George and Phillips, we had bins for people to bring their used trainers, so they could be they could be sent off, because George and Phillips have got sort of bins that they send off. They work in partnership with a charity that can use good shoes that we would be throwing away, but they can be reused or repurposed. And so we did that last year. So it is looking at working with events that are happening in town and bringing that sustainable aspect of it to it. So we can look at things like you said, the Christmas trees, and also Christmas cards as well is another possibility as well. Yep. So that will definitely be good to put down as going forward. And on that also, we had Nina put out greening your Halloween tips. And we did also mention that we should do similar things for like having a sort of a green Christmas and other similar sort of holidays that could have a good impact and get a word out on how people can do that little bit. So, all right. Any other comments? Or nope. Dave, did you want to give us any updates on sustainability? What's happening?
Yeah, I do. Thank you. I have two. One is we had talked about a prior committee meeting about greenhouse gas emissions resolution that we would look and possibly bring to the select board. I did send that a draft to Chetna today and the chair of the Energy Committee, just running it by them, and then I suspect they'll take a look, and then we'll distribute it for discussion and action if you're to that point at the next meeting. So that's moving ahead. The good news on the solar array front that we were working on, I did put out a request for proposal, as you all know, to explore a solar array development at the landfill. Pleased to report that we received 2 proposals, both offering to lease the town land outright for 25 years to develop and operate a solar array. They've also proposed a pretty unique situation where the town could act as that. they claim it's cash positive from day one. But without getting in, don't need to get in too much detail at this point, but it was good to see that we got 2 solid proposals from local solar development firms, which tells me that there's definitely a possibility, feasibility to this project, which was great to get. So the next step is that we're going to interview both firms. And as I said earlier, I have a energy committee member that when they met a couple weeks ago, I got someone to get on the interview panel, and I would like someone from the Sustainability Advisory Committee to be on that panel. We'll most likely do the interviews like next week, maybe an hour or two. It's going to be during the day. So I would ask if anyone's interested and wants to sit on that panel with myself, Sustainability Advisory Committee, Energy Committee member, Lou. Lou is one there, and I've asked a DPW rep if they want to be on it as well. So it could be a DPW rep, and it'll be via Zoom.
I would love to sit on that, Dave.
Okay, that's great.
What are the companies you got the proposals from?
Revision Energy and New England Solar Garden.
Okay.
Both have quite extensive experience with solar arrays on landfills in New Hampshire. So, it's very encouraging to get that. So now it's a matter of, selecting who we would like to work with and then what kind of approach do we want. But that's at the interview panel, we'll just select a firm and then, going to have to eventually get the select board involved, to weigh in. So on maybe what option we'd like the town would want to pursue.
Thank you, Kristen, for volunteering for that. And then we'll hear back.
Thank you, Kristen.
We'll hear back at the next meeting how that went. Any other?
That's all I have for this evening. Thank you. Oh, yeah, no, I just wanted to echo, Chris brought up a good point. That was great about the pumpkins. I didn't even know, like the stats of that and so forth. Kind of made me, I just trimmed out the pumpkins, but so if I don't have it to compost, then I don't need to compost it. But it was good. And I heard from some people and I talked to other people. So that was a good idea.
Riverwood's contributed pumpkins. Our landscaping group collected the pumpkins that had been put out around our campuses and took them down to Laney and Lou's.
I think, Chris, I just want to be sort of officially noted in the minutes that we want to thank Laney and Lou and also Mr. Fox for offering to do that and making a success.
Chris is going through a serious typing challenge there today, I have to say.
Actually, we got this down after working at home for 7 months. He loves being on video calls, so he knows I need to type, and we've got this down.
That's perfect.
Thank you. All right. I think, I don't know, do you have any, the next agenda item, we've got communication, any updates on the social media side of things? I know we haven't got Nina on the call, but I did notice that there was a survey that was sent out from the communications committee. Chris, do you have any info or anything?
No, I had planned to actually talk with her tonight about the survey and all that. So I don't know if maybe Nico or anybody have any input from the communications committee. Whether I don't even know when their deadline was for the results for that, but.
Sure, thank you. The last time they came on to address the select board, they gave us the survey. We approved it. They sent it out, and we're waiting to hear back from them.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's a deadline.
So we don't know whether the survey is still open?
I don't know that, no.
Okay. So just wondering if people can still find it on, I think it was put out on social media. People still want, it hadn't got taken. If they haven't done it, then hopefully they can still do that if the deadline's not passed. All right. Dave, Was Julie going to join us today? I was under the impression that she was.
I didn't know. I had emailed. I haven't heard back from you. Honestly, I don't have an update. I don't know what's going on. When I know more, but it's really up to her.
Yeah.
To provide what's happening. I've asked, but I think she's in a little transition. She was not feeling well for a while, and I think she just moved. So she's in a little transition, but I will keep trying, and hopefully we'll have an update for the next meeting.
All right. Okay. And I had some input for the agenda item from Bev to talk about water shortage. So I will hand it over to her to explain a bit further and what the issues are. Bev?
Well, my intention was just to bring some attention to what looks as though it's going to be a permanent concern. I was asked in November to write an article for our newsletter here at Riverwoods, calling people's attention to the drought and suggesting there's some common sense ways in which people, besides not using any of the outdoor water, might think in terms of not being wasteful of water in their own homes. In the use of dishwashers, for instance, in putting through small loads of laundry when a bigger load would work better, and just to have that sense in mind, because this is the second major serious drought that we've had here. 2016 we had one, now we've gotten to 2020. The water table is down about 10 inches. It doesn't look, although we did have one good rainy day recently, it doesn't look as though there's going to be an appreciable improvement before the ground freezes. It will require considerable snow this winter if the spring runoff is going to really help solve the problem. Well diggers are very busy, even though they had to, many wells had to be deepened in 2016. Others have had to be done now. The governor has made money available from the funds which were obtained from the oil companies to remedy polluted wells. He has made that available for people whose wells have gone dry this last time. In general, I guess that's really what I want to say. I just think that we need to think of this as an ongoing, permanent problem, if you like. Using water judiciously has got to become something that the town and everyone is, has in mind, and I'm sure they do actually. But the public in general perhaps needs some attention drawn to it.
I wonder if there is some way we could work with, I don't know, if Conservation Commission or buildings permit or something. I'm just thinking of the Unitil building that's almost completed, that went in, and they just did a traditional landscape plan, and it went in and it was all approved, and then plans changed, and now it's all local native plants and supposed to be drought resistant. And I wonder if there's some way, like, I don't know if carrot or stick, but I wonder if there's some way we could do encourage that more, because now they're really thankful that we put in all these native species that can handle these type of droughts a little bit better.
That's another aspect of it, and certainly one that needs to be pursued.
Do we have on the town website any sort of directions or tips for residents on water usage, ways to sort of be more conservative in use?
I haven't run across any. I have found a number of articles about Exeter's water shortage. which started back in the end of the summer and have continued through November. But I didn't find anything on the, nothing came up when I Googled, let's say, on public in general and, what homeowners should think about.
Both the website and the DPW social media page lists the restrictions and the recommendations given the level that the select board approved, stage 4. So the restrictions are listed.
Well, that's true. The ban on outdoor watering. It just pretty much it's just no outdoor watering.
Yeah, I wonder,
which is fine as far as
I know there's a number of people who are working, since they're spending so much time at home now, on re-landscaping their yards and such. And I wonder if we could provide some information on, there's a water ban, make sure you use drought resistant and native species.
Yeah, I just wonder whether there is the opportunity to put sort of information out through the website on how to conserve water and like I said, Kristen, in terms of looking at native trees and planting.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any way to work with like local directly, and if there's a way to like give a list or like some type of sticker or tag being like, these are native species for this area, drought resistant. I don't know.
There is, DPW does have links to those fact sheets. There's 2 from UNH Cooperative Extension that talk about how to water, how to garden, plant selection, soil analysis, use drought resistant and so forth. They're on the website, DPW's page regarding the water drought. So if you scroll down, it's there. I could try to take those and maybe, scatter them in other places, like on our sustainability page, and maybe send Bob Glowacki can put it out on Facebook or something, kind of a one-time deal now and maybe again in the spring, so we can get it out a little. They're there, but they're obvious.
Yeah, I wonder if we could have it in a few more places, because that would really help get it out.
I can do that I will do that this week.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what gets the most traffic, but yeah.
Facebook, definitely our Facebook page.
Facebook, okay.
Yeah, like our website has a lot of traffic, but not, there's so many layers and so many pages to our website. So, you could put something on the front page, that gets a lot, but it's not really the time of year for that. I would wait maybe when people start thinking about plant selection and so forth, to put it on our front page of our website. But I'll figure out a plan and get that a little bit more out there for people.
That would make sense. And another aspect of all that is lawns. Riverwoods has achieved green certification in landscaping, and one of their big efforts is to reduce the amount of lawns that we have, because lawns do a lot of damage. They require a lot of water, and we need good perennials of other types. As she said, native. I love Pachysandra. We need to move in that direction too. Let's discourage lawn space.
And wildflowers to attract the bees.
Wildflowers are great.
All right. Okay, so we'll see more of those examples of fact sheets and so on distributed all over the place. That'd be great. All right. Anything else, Bev? Did you want to add to the water shortage?
No, I'm all set.
Okay. All right. The next item, which I just put in for sort of plans for 2021, was just to sort of get our minds sort of thinking forward in terms of what kind of things we would want the committee to be sort of working on, sort of short term and sort of long term into next year, and what sort of quick gains that we could get in terms of raising awareness on sustainability in different aspects, outreach again with residents, and sort of communicating through social media, the website, of tips and so forth. So I just put that there just as a reminder to hopefully get people to start thinking on what sort of things that we would want to be looking at and taking action on. So it's not something that I'm expecting people to comment on right now, but it will be good to have a list for the next meeting, just a plan of some sort of what we feel individually that we can sort of say, okay, well, I think this is important for us to do, and then make it happen. So.
I think some of the lessons learned this year, or the first year of the committee, certainly taught us that, given the nature of a monthly meeting and people's busy lives and a volunteer corps, and it's sort of in an advisory role and a communications role, but we also learned that things move very slowly, and it's difficult to execute big plans or big things. And I think I look at some of the opportunities of things that have gone well. It makes me think that, looking at the calendar for 2021, and at least the first half of the year, we have to assume there's going to be some kind of pandemic restrictions on gatherings and in-person things. So we have to really be thinking how to best deploy ourselves, either like the pumpkin thing I'm going to keep coming back to that. I thought that was really well done and had a great impact and a relatively easy win in a certain sense. So what other things can we do to capitalize on naturally occurring things? Secondly, I'm really kind of digging into our digital selves. And I know that we're really waiting to learn more about this communications committee survey. If we remember, 3 meetings ago when that was discussed and all the work that's gone into trying to figure out the best way to get sustainability information out there. And we keep coming back to the fact that the Exeter town Facebook page, actually, of all the Facebook pages that all the committees and all the departments have, actually has really decent traffic. It's actually a pretty solid thing, and it's a really strong social media tool. And I'm really excited to learn what the results of this survey are. And I hope we can encourage other committees and join those committees on utilizing the Facebook page that the town has up now to our advantage much more consistently. And I think we remember that we wanted to put together an opportunity to at least prototype once a month, getting Dave and his team something to put up. And I guess I'd challenge us moving into 2021 to, as a team, make sure that we're, working together to get something once a month minimum. And then if we're successful with that, then twice a month, and so on, up on the Facebook page. And I would consider that in the first half of 2021, especially since we're going to have some restrictions, that to me would be a win for the committee to make sure we're, moving those issues forward and getting them out on the town Facebook page.
Yeah, I agree. Any other sort of quick comments? But we will, like I said, if you have that in the back of our minds to bring to the next meeting, that'd be great.
Yeah, I second Chris's thought on communication is important, and I think that we kind of circled around onto that's one of our more important things that we can do. That's within our reach and grasp. And then one thing I wanted to kind of keep coming back to the pumpkin thing and the success on that. I don't know if anyone else has this trouble of finding a place to recycle batteries and remembering to bring that. But I've set up recycling programs before. And would it be all right? Would you guys think if I start looking into if there's a potential, like there's free recycling programs. There's one I just found while we were talking, that we could potentially partner with the town to have a permanent collection site downtown that a third party comes and takes the batteries away. Just someplace because where people will see it, because that's for me. I always forget when I go other places, but if it's like permanently downtown, like that's not that far away.
Yeah, I think, Kristen, I would definitely welcome that, because I recently went to the transfer station thinking that they would have a bin there for those, and I was told they didn't have it, and they said just to put it in normal trash, and I was like absolutely horrified that if that is the advice that they're giving out to residents, it's not good.
Yeah.
So I think if there is an organisation that we can partner with and have it at the town hall, at the office, somewhere that people are going to and can readily access to put used batteries in, that would be amazing.
And to essentially take that idea and Chris's topic with batteries is spot on, and I think there are several other sort of critical categories of things that pop up in people's households all the time. I took advantage of the high school's electronic recycling a couple of weeks ago at down by the bandstand, but save for once a year. I don't know if there's other ones, but I think I'd love to train our town residents to come to our Facebook page or come to the website to know where to look to find these different things that are kind of out of your normal weekly recycling and trash. We should be the resource for that. We should be able to and get that information out there and make it a bit of a clearinghouse of information for those oddities that they're real and they're all in our house, and we have to figure out how to deal with them. And otherwise, as Chetna said, if the advice is to toss in the trash, I don't think that's really what we want to get behind. I think we can do better. And so let's take this opportunity to capitalize on what Chris said and find, maybe make a quick list of those difficult things, electronic devices, drills, tools, rechargeable batteries, all those kind of things that they used to take at Best Buy and don't anymore. So
yeah, definitely. Okay, any other business comments? Nope. In blank stares. Okay. Well, okay, it's a very short meeting. There is nothing else. Any other business obviously happening, nothing happening. I guess the next meeting is in 2021 on 5th of January. So in the meantime, if you have any comments, any suggestions, please do get in touch. And Dave, document on the greenhouse gas bill, I'll read through and then it will be sent on to everyone. So everyone's aware of that as well. And we'll discuss it at the next meeting.
And the point when I send it out is, feel free to, add some whereases and, just read it. I mean, it's, I'm looking for, input if anything needs to be said. Okay.
So with that, if there's nothing else happening, it's 7:34. I'll adjourn the meeting.
Second that.
Thank you, Kristen.
Happy Christmas, everybody.
Have a great holiday, everyone.
Thank you.
Stay well, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.